The big thing, we had the Battle of the Billionaires, and that was with Vince and me, and we each had our wrestler. He had Umaga.
Umaga.
We had two good guys, and they wrestled, and fortunately my guy won, and the loser had the hair shaved. I said, I don't want to have my hair shaved. But we actually wrestled a little bit. You remember?
You mixed it up a little bit.
It was a pretty famous thing. But I think it has your all-time record for
pay-per-view buys.
For everything.
Yeah, it was a huge event.
Yeah, it was a big one. But you went down just before me, and the entrance into the ring is the greatest entrance into any arena that I've seen, okay? And I don't think it's going to even be topped. The whole thing of the music, the whole deal. And by the way, he's a dynamic guy. When he does this, he's very, slow and easy. And, you're supposed to act, you're supposed to be a dead man. So, you're acting sort of dead.
Yeah.
And it's one of the greats. And that's why I'm surprised, because you're a quick guy. You move quick. But in the ring, he just sort of moved around. And you left just before us, and the place was going crazy. I said, that's a very tough act to follow. I'm not sure. And I didn't realize how big you were. I figured you were big, but not that big. So I'm standing with Vince, and they had other wrestlers in the room. It's like essentially the green room,
right,
up high.
Right.
And you walked by me and said, hello, sir. And I said, this guy is really big. How tall are you, by the way?
Right now, probably I've lost a little bit through the years, but I'm right at 6'8".
6'8".
Yeah, my disc have been a little bit compressed through the years.
You get compressed. Well, that's normal. They say you get compressed and your feet get bigger. Did you ever hear that?
Well, I've always had big feet. My dad used to. My dad used to tell me. He said, "You'd have been tall, boy, if you hadn't to give up so much for foundation."
That's right. But I said, this guy is really big, and you were wrestling a good guy that night. Do you remember?
I do remember.
He was a good specimen guy, and it was great. But I said, how do we beat this, Vince? What are you doing? Why don't we go before them? We should go before them. But we had that was a great evening, and I think it said, I don't know if it still has. I think it still has your record.
It was it was a big night. It was in Detroit. Yeah, and
well, I have a son who's 6'9". Can you imagine? I have a son who's an inch taller than if you say. So you were probably at super height, 6'9".
Yeah, I was probably 6'9". Right there at 6'9".
So 6'9", like 360.
330. I kind of topped out at 330.